Grandmites, it's time to unite. Today, I gotta go to pharmacy, pick up some prescriptions, and then it's time to have lunch. Yep. Boy, I tell you, I went to Pittsburgh last night and just hung out for a while and had dinner and just hung out with the musicians there. I didn't go there to record, but I did go there just to hang out and eat, because I did not eat yesterday all day until that time. But I had fun, you know. They had Uncle Roy there. They had well, Matt Paluska was there, Chris Neggs, Eric Boulderman. You know, the usual people, Aaron Miller, Bob Kelly, Roy Ponce, Natalie, Brittany, you know, and it was just a great crowd as usual, you know, and you can expect that just about every week now, and it's been just crazy awesome to see and to experience. But yeah, your concentration here somewhere else there for a second. I am driving while I am vlogging. It's a good thing I don't have to hold my camera, because I'd be in so much trouble. But yeah, it's been a really good week this week. You know, as you saw, I got to go out to Kenny's West Side this week, and I got to hang out with TJ after and just talk about shit. It was just a pretty good week because of that, you know. I don't think I've ever mentioned this in a vlog before, but I also am a gamer. I have a YouTube channel that I'm not currently active on, but I uploaded a crap ton of you know, playthroughs and stuff like that of games. And if you want to find out on YouTube, it is Gamergram Gameplay. And yeah, I played all kinds of stuff. All three of the Dead Space, Dishonored, Saints Row 4, Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon. And I recorded even some of the MMO that I played, Final Fantasy 14. So there's some videos of that on there as well. And I've been playing Final Fantasy 14. I don't want to say I played straight through all this time, because I did quit for about a year. But I was a participant in the beta before public beta of Final Fantasy 14. And I just came back to game about a year ago, and I haven't quit since, you know. The game is just so much fun. It's definitely a lot different if you're coming from Final Fantasy 11. I played Final Fantasy 11 for 9 years before having to quit that game and just to go to 14, because, you know, I can't handle more than one prescription at a time, so I had to cut something. So Final Fantasy 11 was it, you know. I can't believe they're still doing like minor updates and additions to the game, even after all this time. They just dropped the third of the the Rhapsodies of Vanadale, and to complete the whole storyline of the game. And as sad as it is to see that come, you know, the game is pretty fun. I mean, it had its ups and downs. The expansion packs, they brought more content, different ways to play. Is Final Fantasy XI perfect? No, but I feel that in my experience of playing for 9 years, you know, because how can you play for 9 years and didn't like the game, you know? But it wasn't so much that I didn't like the game, it's just everybody didn't like all the changes and additions that were made to the game with the expansions and updates and stuff. And part of the reason because of that, you know, was because certain jobs were better at it than others, and then when they had calls or shouts to do, you know, that content, they would only allow specific jobs and stuff, and it was kind of sad because when Final Fantasy Rise of the Xylar, you know, and even Chains of Promathia, when it came out, you know, the mages were on the forefront. You know, you had your paladin or warrior tank, and you had your what's now called DPS, but we just called it melee back then, tank, melee, and healers. And and as the expansion pack came, by the time we got to Wings of the Goddess, you know, if it wasn't for them putting in the magic trigger system, you know, I think the mages and stuff would have been pretty much obsolete, you know. And what started the whole trigger thing was the Abbacy add-ons that came with the game later on. That was a total game changer, man. You had to work your ass off. You had to grind your ass off for steals and items and stuff to upgrade your armor even further and stuff, and your weapons, and it was just, I felt it was just too much, and you know, I'm not sure I'm the only one that felt this way, but I felt like the Abbacy was just way too big, you know, because by the time I got done playing, I had 9 level 99 jobs, and I wanted to gear up all of them jobs with the best armor, and I was well on my way. But by the time I got there, it just wasn't happening. I never did finish upgrading my gear, and it's because, you know, I was working full time. I was contributing to all the link shows that I ran, helping people out, you know. So it was hard for me. So I was like, I got to a place of complacency, and it caused me to fall so far behind. It's pathetic, and I feel the same way even now in 14. You know, sure that the content update is far and few between. Went to the wrong place here. Let me go through. Yep, just gotta go next door. I think we did that. I'm at the right place now, so. I turned one place too soon. Hate that. But I'll talk more about Final Fantasy 14 and gaming in general as soon as I'm back. So I'll see you in a bit. Well, Well, I just got done eating. Man, I'm full. Went to Aurelio's for lunch, and you could overeat so easy at that place. It's just so good. You don't want your meal to end. It's so good. Anyway, we got on the street here because this can be. Here we go. All right, now as I was saying about Final Fantasy 14, you know, I am a bit behind still, and it is because, you know, I'm not the type of person to dungeon grind, and that's what you need to do to build up your tombstones of law and esoterics, you know, and that's the only way you can upgrade your armor and stuff so that you be ready for advanced in-game content. So that's where I'm at right now. Currently you have to be at least eye level 170 to do some of the newer stuff, but then there's content where you need to be like 190 or 195 or something like that, and at the pace I'm going, I won't be ready for that for at least another 3-6 months. And like I said, it's because I don't like to run dungeons over and over and over and over again. I just can't do it. And another thing too is, you know, I don't like to go to these dungeons and stuff by myself. You know, I want to go with my friends, my free company members, because I want us to be a close-knit group family, just like we were in Final Fantasy 11. You know, we kind of had to rely on each other in Final Fantasy 11 because we didn't have no duty finder system where it matched you up with people who want to do dungeons and stuff, and really the only instanced content that was in Final Fantasy 11 was like the bigger arena type battles and stuff, and you know, because in Final Fantasy 11 there was always like open dungeons where you can just zone in, and you're into a dungeon and you can do stuff there just like you can everywhere else, you know, and that's just unheard of in Final Fantasy 14. And I wish there was open area dungeons in Final Fantasy 14. I think that would be kind of like a game changer, especially in an environment where you don't want to necessarily rely on duty finder to do that content, you know. Just go out there and have like objectives and stuff. Then you can be rewarded with item upgrades and stuff. And I know that's a dangerous area to get into because I don't want Final Fantasy 14 to be real Final Fantasy 11 heavy, you know, because that content it's been said and done. But I wish there was just at least some of it in Final Fantasy 14. Not necessarily enough to take it over, but enough to where it's alternative to you know, doing duty finder dungeons and stuff all the time, where we can do it without the duty finder and just do it with like parties and just make it to where, you know, free company members, you know, can go, you know, don't have to worry about the duty finder. I totally think it's possible. You know, I think that would be a great way, as an alternate way to get caught up in some form or fashion, you know? Just like the relic weapon in Final Fantasy 14. I have got no relic weapons fully upgraded. I have 2 weapons that are still on the Atma phase, and I'm not talking about you know, go do phase and get the Atma, but the stage after that, the book stage, you know, where you have to go kill like 100 different mobs and do 100 different fates, 100 different dungeons and stuff per book to advance your weapon, you know. But I guess it's okay. I like the game regardless, and I love the Heaven's Word expansion pack. Getting to 60, it wasn't necessarily a challenge, but oh my god, all the questions you gotta do in between, you know, the storyline to get to level 60, it's a bit of a curve. It's like between like 55 and 58, you've got to do so many quests, it's ridiculous to get, you know, to the next part of the storyline. And then the next steep curve is 59 to 60. I'm telling you, that really does take forever. At least it seemed like it for me. And same thing for crafters, man. Getting from 50 to 60 was definitely harder for me, because I don't do like levies and stuff for crafting. I don't really do the turn-in items either. I like to take my time, sell my stuff on the market boards, and make a profit while, you know, while leveling. And I know it takes the extreme amount of time, but I don't care. I like it that way, and I don't mind at all doing it that way, because there's always someone in need of armor, equipment, weapons, stuff like that, you know. And I just think totally lost my train of thought. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, the point is, I love gaming. I love MMOs. I love where I've been. I have no regrets in anything that I've done, you know, in game, out of game. I have peace of mind with every single decision that I've made, regardless of other people and how they perceive them. It has made me the leader I am today of this free company that I lead, the Embers of Sion. And that's another story I want to get into, is the story behind you know, the Scions in Final Fantasy XIV and how that relates to the name of my free company. And you know, it's kind of well received. You know, we have 25 members right now. We're ranked 7. We have a house coming, so yeah, everything's really cool. I kind of wish they put housing in Final Fantasy 11, but I don't think they won't do that. Not now. They should have done that early on in the game if they was going to, but that's alright. It is what it is. I'm happy with it. There's all kinds of shoulda, couldas, wouldas, but in the end, everything's already written now, especially for Final Fantasy 11. And it looks like Final Fantasy 14, the content is continually being written, you know, and I look forward to playing that game for 9 years. Anyway, I will check you out later, and I'll see you in my next vlog.